Welcome to the Smart Connector, a podcast for entrepreneurs who put people first. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button to make sure you never miss an episode. In our podcast, we'll be looking at the power of authentic connection and how it can build your business success. We feature interviews with leading entrepreneurs and offer strategies to bring power to all your relationships, including the one you have with yourself. Be a smart connector too, the architect of your amazing business and life. This is the sixth and final episode of my podcast series on business influence and persuasion, in which we look at the principles that the psychologist Robert Cialdini explained in his famous book, Influence: The Psychology of Persuasion. In this episode, we're going to look at the scarcity principle, which dictates that we're drawn to things that are exclusive, time-limited, and hard to come by. We humans are hardwired to believe that things that are difficult to obtain are better than those that are easily available. If you don't believe me, think about children. If you have children, you may have noticed how the long-neglected teddy becomes the most desirable toy, worthy of endless battles once another child picks it up and decides to cuddle it. We don't grow out of this tendency, it just evolves and gets a shiny adult veneer. So the principle of scarcity draws on the basic human instinct by creating a sense of limited availability and urgency. Once it's gone, it's gone. You can trigger a sense of urgency in your customers with some of these methods. Limited number. Say an item is in short supply and won't be available once it runs out. Last chance to buy rail in Topshop is an example. Limited time. An item is only available during a specific time period. Think Black Friday. One-of-a-kind specials. Sometimes this can be one or both of the above techniques. You can create one-off, not-to-be-repeated events. I was recently invited to a one-off interesting people dinner at an exclusive venue in London, and I immediately accepted, of course. Competitions. We want things more because people also want them. This works brilliantly in auctions or bid situations. Sales and limited time offers create a sense of scarcity and urgency, meaning customers have to reconsider leaving their buying decisions until later. When British Airways announced in 2003, for example, that they'd no longer be operating a twice-daily London to New York Concorde flight because it had become uneconomical to run, sales went through the roof the very next day. Nothing had changed about Concorde itself. It didn't fly any faster, the service didn't get any better, and the airfare didn't drop. It had simply become a scarce and time-limited resource, and as a result, people wanted it much, much more. Here's an online example. The social media app Snapchat's parent company unveiled Snapchat Spectacles in September 2016. These were pretty cool sunglasses that could record 10-second videos from the perspective of the wearer. But instead of selling them online or through a shop, spectacles were first only sold through Snapbots, which were smiling Snapchat-themed vending machines that randomly popped up in US cities. There were no announcements before the arrival of Snapbots. Awareness was generated virally via social media. As a result of the scarcity principle, long lines of people would queue around the block, hoping to buy the sunglasses before the Snapbot ran out of stock for the day. The Snapbots were a great example of the scarcity principle. They meant sunglasses were available for limited time only, just the day it was in your city, and you had to beat everybody else being there before the machine sold out. Plus, the product scarcity in stores meant nobody could stop talking about them. Blog posts and social media comments about the unique selling approach helped fuel even more interest in the products, resulting in massive sales. So when it comes to the scarcity principle, the evidence is clear. It's not enough to tell people about the benefits they'll gain if they choose your products and services. You'll also need to point out why and how they stand to lose if they don't take action now. To implement the scarcity principle, make an offer, but then pull it back with a "we're running out of time" or product message. Here are some ways to do this. Put a timeline on it. If you want someone to sign up for a webinar, for example, tell them that it expires on Friday at noon. If it's a sale, put an end date on it. Put a number on it. You could say, for example, that your sales event will be capped at 200 attendees. Your VIP extension is limited to the first 50 who sign up. Scarcity doesn't need to limit your future activities. People just need to think that something is running out right now in order to act. The power of influence truly is at the heart of every successful personal, professional, and customer relationship. Rather than the product or service you're selling, it's influence and persuasion that triggers action amongst your customers and make them buy. Today, opportunity exists on a huge scale for entrepreneurs to influence thousands and even millions of potential buyers. Get it right and your millions of customers will exchange millions of their pounds, dollars or euros for the value vouchers you're delivering to them in return. Get it wrong and you'll be left behind by those who really understand Cialdini's timeless principles. I hope you've enjoyed this mini-series on influence and connection and found it useful. If you have, please like and subscribe to my podcast as I'll be doing more mini-series in future. Thank you for listening to the Smart Connector podcast. I invite you to follow me on social media or go to www.janebayler.com to book a discovery call and learn about our exciting mentorships, masterminds and retreats. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.